So here are the solutions to the first 8 questions from the lesson 6 homework. I'm going to ask you to pause the video and check those over. Remember, in numbers 2 and 8, I can rewrite those as radical 2 over 2 like I showed you in the notes. But again, I like to just leave them as 1 over radical 2. I don't bother trying to get rid of that radical in the denominator. So pause the video, check these, and then I'm going to go over the last 4. All right, so let's do the last 4. I'll do these out because they have a little bit more involved with them. So the first one was sine 30. This is number 9. The sine of 30 plus the cosine of 60. So you're going to just grab these answers from your triangle. The sine of 30 on your 30, 60, 90 triangle, which I'll jot down right over here. Sine of 30 is going to be 1/2. The cosine of 60 is also 1/2, adjacent over hypotenuse. And when you add a half and a half together, you get a solid 1. So 1 would be the answer to number 9. All right, let me show you the next one. That's going to be number 10. The tangent of 45 plus the sine of 30. I'm going to need my 45, 45, 90 triangle this time. All right, so the tangent of 45. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. No matter which 45 you use, you get the same result, 1 over 1, which is really just 1. The sine of 30, opposite over hypotenuse, is 1/2. So 1 plus a half is 1.5. Now, you can write it as 1.5 if you'd like, but I prefer that we add these up and use fractions and call it 3/2. I like 3/2 as a better answer. You can make this a 1 over 1, get an LCD. Remember those, chapter 7, 8. The LCD would be 2, so I could multiply the top and bottom both by 2 here. And that would give me 2 over 2 plus 1 over 2, which is 3 over 2. All right. I like that answer better. That's likely more what you're going to see when you see these answers printed on multiple choice questions and things like that. So you just need to know that that's probably the better way to write it as 3/2. All right, let me do the next one. The next one was the tangent of 60 times the tangent of 30. I know it's multiplication because we have parentheses around the things, right? That means multiply. So the tangent of 60. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. So radical 3 over 1. The tangent of 30, opposite over adjacent, is 1 over radical 3. And using our rules of fractions that we talked about in 7, 8, remember we can reduce diagonally if we want to do multiplication. So these radical 3's will actually cancel out, and I'm left with just 1 over 1, or 1 as my answer. So there was that one. Last one, number 13, sine of 60 times the cosine of 60. Let's do that one. Sine 60, I think I read that right. Yes, times the cosine of 60. All right, so we go over here to 60 degrees. The sine of 60 is radical 3 over 2, opposite over hypotenuse. The cosine of 60, adjacent over hypotenuse, that's 1 over 2. It's a weird looking 2 there. There we go. All right, so again, how do I multiply fractions? I multiply across. There's nothing that reduces here, so I just go ahead and multiply across here, and radical 3 times 1 is radical 3, and 2 times 2 is 4. So radical 3 over 4 would be your answer to that one. All right. If you have further questions or need more assistance on any of these problems, email me, let me know. I can send you a more thorough description, write it out for you, whatever you need.